Hi everyone. In this video, we're gonna go over the exercise questions for chapter 3. As I mentioned before, for the exercise questions, I would highly recommend that you print a copy of the questions or make sure you have a screen showing the questions. And also make sure you download the data file, which is a Microsoft Word file, open the file, so that you can copy and paste data into MeTab. It is better to carry out the analysis along with the video so that you can ensure you can do it yourself afterwards. Let's get started. Table P23 contains Southwest Airlines quarterly income before extraordinary items for the year 1988 to 1990. Plot the income data as a time series. Is this series stationary or non-stationary? Explain. Compute the autocorrelations of the income series for the first 10 time lags. Is the behavior of the autocorrelations consistent with your answer in part A? Do you see trend or seasonality? Part C, test to determine whether the autocorrelations for leg 1 and 2 are significantly different from 0 at the 0.05 significance level. All right, so it seems like we will go to MiniTab directly, copy and paste the data to do the scatter plot, calculate the autocorrelation, and then perform the test. So let's go ahead and do it. We're gonna move to MiniTab. So open my MiniTab. You will need to copy and paste the data. I have the Word document open, so I'm gonna copy the data and come back to MiniTab to paste it. All right, so there we go. 2 columns. The first column is the quarter and year. The second column is the income. We want to start with a time series plot for part A. So let's do stat, time series, and then pick time series plot. And we want the simple one. Let's double click on income to get it. I would also like the stamp. It's not necessary, it's not required, but having the stamp just give us more information as to what year and what quarter we're looking at. So I'm gonna click on OK. To get the scatter plot, to get the time series plot, I'm sorry. Okay, and now we are ready to answer the questions. I'm gonna just type the answer briefly here instead of going into a Word file formally. Part A says, get the plot and ask whether the time series is stationary or not. So let's do that. And based on the plot, we can definitely observe a trend, which is an upward trend. Any time series data with patterns, trend, seasonality, cyclical component are non-stationary. So we can say the time series is not stationary because we can observe an upward trend. And also seasonality. Okay. And the reason I can say there's seasonality is because especially for the later years in the graph, you can see a very similar pattern is repeating itself every 4 quarters so that we know there will be seasonality. All right, and part B says, get the autocorrelations for the first 10 time lags and ask you whether it's consistent with your answer in part A and do see trend and seasonality. So let's see. Let's go get the autocorrelations. Go back to stat, time series, autocorrelation. Okay, double click on income. And we want the first 10 time lags. So you may want to specify the number of lags to be 10, and then click on OK. Okay, let's see. Just when you look at the autocorrelation coefficient table, I can immediately tell for the first four, at least first 4 lags, the autocorrelation coefficient will be significant, and therefore we do know there's correlation, autocorrelation going on. Now moving down into the graph, several things I would observe. The first is that I do see the lags are significant for the first 4. And they are decreasing gradually, and therefore we can confirm there's trend. The other thing I would notice is in terms of seasonality, the lags at 4 and the 8th lag. Apparently, both of them are higher than the previous lag and also the lag behind it, indicating that there is seasonality because our data is quarterly data. So we do expect observations in current period to be highly correlated with observation 4 period ago or 8 period ago, meaning that the same quarter just belongs to different years. Okay, so for part B, and that was part A, I didn't really denote, but for part B, we can say the ACF graph confirms our answer in part A. The lags, the first 4 lags are significant, and all lags are decreasing gradually. Therefore, there is trend. Also, the 4th lag is greater than the one before it and the one after it. It is the same for the 8th lag. Therefore, we can tell there is seasonality. All right. And part C asks us to test the first 2 lags with a significance level of 0.05. Since we are doing the test using the graph in comparison with the 2 red curves, so we can say for lag 1 and lag 2, the spikes autocorrelation represented by the blue spikes are above the red curve, exceeding the confidence interval. Therefore, we can tell that both of them are significant at the 0.05 level. All right, so that's roughly the kind of answers I would expect from you answering similar questions.